some look at Black Lives Matter or Marxism or critical race theory or intersectionality and start thinking, who could be behind all this? Could it be Satan? And that is exactly what some American bishops actually believe. And to combat these supposed demonic forces, they are conducting exorcisms. This is real, guys. In Portland, Oregon, Archbishop Alexander Sample led a procession of more than 200 people to a city park on October 17th, offered a prayer, and then conducted a Latin exorcism rite intended to purge the community of evil. The event followed more than 4 months of racial justice protests in Portland, mostly peaceful, but sometimes fueling in violence and riots. On that same day, over in San Francisco, 600 miles to the south, Archbishop Salvatore Cordileone, good name, crazy man, performed an exorcism ceremony outside of a Catholic church in San Rafael, where protesters had toppled a statue of Father Junipero Serra. Wow. I didn't know you could exorcise a park. I thought you had to exorcise a person.
In a park. They got the subject and the verb mixed up.
Absolutely. Here we have Lil Nas X, who I'm sure they can't wait to try and exercise. But he definitely does work out, so I don't think he needs it. He looks fine to me.
I wonder, so is this, I'm always looking for what's the end point, because it's always money, first of all, but where do they financially benefit from their exorcisms of the air and of the grass and the trees in the park, where a protest took place? Again, every time, I feel like I said this, I'm not sure if it was on the main show or if it was on TDR last week. Every time someone wants to have something to say about it, we have to have this whole outrage about what it is that they're doing, and then find a way to shut it down without any reality for what they just said. I forget who it was. It was some politician that said, I can't get why all this Black Lives Matter stuff happens anyway. Well, if you listen, we'll tell you why all this Black Lives Matter stuff happens, and you don't have to guess anymore. You don't have to say, man, they just want to come out here and riot in the streets. Or you could address the fact that police brutality has been killing black folks at this rate, and based off of absolutely nothing, and that our entire judicial system is targeted and biased. Listen to it, and then if you can address those issues, then you can start acting clueless. Like, well, we addressed all the issues that are the problem. You guys are still running around the streets getting mad, throwing up signs, and then some riots break out. They don't want to address the issue. They just want to say the issue is non-existent, and these folks are just out here getting angry about nothing. It doesn't make any sense. So the next step then is to have a couple archbishops and Catholic priests come out and start exercising the air, because that's what it is. It's just in the air. They're afraid of the evil in the air, but they're not afraid of the COVID in the air for some reason. It's just it's this weirdest approach to just normal things. What's gonna happen? What did you see in the air? I would love to see how he started this exorcism.
I know.
Like usually on a person, they may do some exorcism and say there's this evil spirit in the human and they're losing their minds. At least that's something you can say is right here. Which part of I don't know, whatever park they got in Oregon is the evil part? Is the family over there 100 yards away? Are they still in the safe zone? It's so weird, and people show up and still give these guys money for it.
Yeah, well, I love the idea that like maybe the movie The Exorcist, like she was just like screaming, like an injury to one is an injury to all, and like communist slogans, like rise up, like this is such a good workers of the world unite. Like that she was a communist. I would probably love it even harder and stan her even more. No, but also let me just say, I feel like America is trying to exorcise the country of racism and a racist policing institution. Like that feels like what we're doing. It's been going on a long time. America's a very unwilling patient. We gotta strap it down, but it does feel like we're on us, yeah. Exactly, we're like an umbrella trying to like prevent it from puking. No, totally, that feels like what we're doing is exercising it. But there have been some good responses to this insane story of priests trying to exercise Black Lives Matter, which was a tribal activist, a native activist, Greg Castro, told the National Catholic Reporter, I love this, exorcisms are a throwback to the thinking of the 1700s, which justified what the Spaniards did to us. To them, we are some kind of demonic spirits. And it's very right on. It's like look, I'm not disparaging religion, and look, there are amazing Catholics, Dorothy Day, Catholic workers, strong sense of justice. But when you combine Catholicism and religion and colonialism, yeah, Native Americans were seen as heathens and demonic, and everything that they worshipped was seen as ridiculous. And even the way people talk about like sage burning is like, oh, that's devil stuff. Like what? You just burn incense. You just burn a different thing.
Yeah, and then so, there's you can have your belief systems too, like the holy water part. That's fine. It's something used for your ceremonial things. And by the way, hearkening back to one of Donald Trump's favorite lines, he likes to call things a witch hunt when it's actually accountability for himself. Ironically, witch hunts were one of those things that are similar to this. We just grab people and say that they were these demonic figures that were casting spells on people somehow because, I don't know, women left the house and they became witches somehow. That's the kind of stuff we used to believe in, but we let that go and call it now a negative term, but we're still conducting exorcisms of a park. We like to keep the stupid elements of these things and then dispel the things that we consider now crazy when all of it was.
Yeah.
I don't know how we selectively choose these things.
No, I mean, obviously they operate on their own rules, but if they were listening to the Vatican, which has been better. I'm not a Pope Francis stan. I'm not someone who's like, oh my God, Pope Francis, I mean, he's okay. He could do more evolving, as they say, especially on abortion rights and things like that. But he did speak out last year when George Floyd was murdered and in the wake of all of these protests. And he had a statement, he wrote, my friends, we cannot tolerate or turn a blind eye to racism and exclusion in any form and yet claim to defend the sacredness of every human life. See, he gets the hypocrisy. Today, I joined the church in St. Paul and Minneapolis and the entire United States in praying for the repose of the soul of George Floyd and for all those who have lost their lives as a result of the sin of racism. Wow.
Wow, it's a sin. So are they gonna dismiss him now? I mean, that's the Pope. You're supposed to listen to everything he says, right?
No, he knows too many secrets. They'd have to off him in some kind of way. He knows all the secrets. He's got to go to the island. He's got, there'll be a faking your own death. I don't know. We could dig like an El Chapo tunnel out of the Vatican to get him out of there or something.
Did you do any of the Catholic school stuff? I have no idea how Catholicism really works.
How does it?
All the rules and I don't know.
Super Old Testament. I don't know. Everyone's gonna correct me. Super Old Testament. Not really that into Jesus. Kind of. The biggest difference is that the blood of Christ is literally the communion. That is actual blood and that is actual body, even though you don't actually eat flesh and blood every Sunday. So, but somehow that was the big difference. Lots of itchy tights and uniforms and terrible haircuts like I had when I was a child. But yeah, I did go to Catholic school for like a year.
Oh yeah.
And then I misbehaved too much and they took me out and my mom put me in public school and I was like, oh, I love this. I hated that. I hate private school. Why would you?
A Francesca misbehaving as a child must have just been talking in class. It couldn't have been more than that.
Just clowning everyone. That was very much me.
Was.
All right. Was. I'm a reformed clown. Some are reformed Catholics, I'm a reformed clown.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.